In this video, we're going to provide a straightforward and comprehensive explanation of Bitcoin. We'll cover its core concepts, how it functions, and why it's relevant in today's financial landscape. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid grasp of what Bitcoin is and why it's important. Let's get started. So, what is Bitcoin? At its core, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency. Much like the dollars or euros you use for everyday transactions, it's a medium of exchange. However, here's the key difference. It's entirely digital and operates through peer-to-peer transactions, cutting out the need for a central authority. To better understand Bitcoin, we need to look at its history. In 2009, an individual or group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto introduced Bitcoin to the world. Nakamoto's Bitcoin white paper outlined the concept and how it would operate. On January 3, 2009, Nakamoto mined the very first Bitcoin block, known as the Genesis block. Embedded within its code was a reference to a headline from the Times newspaper, "Chancellor on the brink of second bailout for banks." Some interpret this as a subtle message, highlighting Bitcoin's potential as a decentralized alternative to the traditional banking system. In its early days, Bitcoin had little to no monetary value and was more of a hobby for tech enthusiasts who could mine it using basic computers. As more participants joined, mining became increasingly competitive. I'll delve into the relationship between mining and Bitcoin in just a moment. In May 2010, programmer Laszlo Hanieks made the first recorded commercial Bitcoin transaction, exchanging 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. This event marked the initial real-world use of Bitcoin as a currency. Now, let's explore how Bitcoin works. The ledger, the blockchain book. The backbone of Bitcoin is the blockchain. Think of it as our digital ledger. A ledger is like a record-keeping book, similar to what accountants use, but in this case, it's not a physical book. Instead, it's a digital ledger shared across thousands of computers in the Bitcoin network. This ledger is structured with a series of pages, or blocks, where all transactions are recorded. Transactions, entries in the book. Transactions in Bitcoin are like entries in our digital ledger. When you want to send Bitcoin to someone, the details of that transaction get recorded. This includes the sender's and receiver's names, the amount of Bitcoin involved, and a unique ID for that transaction. The miners, bookkeepers. To ensure accuracy and security, miners act as the guardians of our ledger. Think of them as the accountants who verify every transaction in the ledger. They do this by solving complex mathematical puzzles. Once they solve a puzzle, they check transactions to ensure they're valid, and then add them to the ledger. The mining race. Mining is like a puzzle-solving competition among these miners. It's a race to solve a complex puzzle. The first miner to solve the puzzle gets to add a new page to our ledger. As a reward, they receive newly created Bitcoins and transaction fees. This system motivates miners to participate and keeps the Bitcoin network secure. Security and immutability. Once a page is added to the ledger, it's extremely challenging to change or erase any information in it. This is because of the security measures of the ledger, including complex puzzles and its distribution across thousands of computers. This ensures the integrity of the ledger. Your wallet, your personal page. If you want to use Bitcoin, you have your own page in the ledger, known as your wallet. It's like your personal ledger where you can see all the transactions related to your Bitcoin. You also have a private key, which is like a secret password you use to authorize transactions from your wallet. In simple terms, Bitcoin works by maintaining a transparent, decentralized, and secure ledger of all transactions. Miners verify and add these transactions to the ledger, ensuring your Bitcoin is secure, difficult to tamper with, and can be easily transferred between wallets without the need for a central authority like a bank. It's as if we're all contributors to a shared ledger, keeping an eye on our transactions. Benefits of Bitcoin. Now, let's take a closer look at the practical advantages of using Bitcoin. Security and ownership. One major advantage of Bitcoin is the level of security and ownership it offers. When you have Bitcoin, you possess a private key, much like a secret password. This key grants you full control over your funds, and there's no need to rely on a bank or any third party for access. Decentralization. Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network, meaning it isn't controlled by any single entity or government. This decentralization reduces the risk of censorship or interference and empowers individuals. Accessibility and financial inclusion. Bitcoin opens up financial opportunities for the unbanked or underbanked populations in parts of the world where traditional banking infrastructure is lacking. All that's needed is internet access to participate. Transparency and immutability. Bitcoin's blockchain technology provides transparency and immutability. Transactions are recorded in a public ledger, which is extremely challenging to alter. This instills trust in the system. Speed and ease of cross-border transactions. Bitcoin enables swift cross-border transactions, making it easier to send funds internationally without the delays associated with traditional banking systems. Ownership of digital assets. Bitcoin has expanded the concept of ownership. It allows you to have true ownership and control over your digital assets, reducing the risk of asset freezing or confiscation. Challenges and concerns. Bitcoin's transformative impact on the financial landscape is undeniable, but it's equally crucial to acknowledge the hurdles it faces. Let's take a closer look at these issues. Price volatility. One of the significant challenges is Bitcoin's price volatility. Its value can change rapidly, presenting opportunities for profit, but it can also be unsettling for those seeking a stable store of value. Price fluctuations in Bitcoin can be influenced by social media, news, and online discussions. Emotions like fear of missing out can drive prices, sometimes unrelated to the technology's fundamentals. Beyond investment, this volatility can impact Bitcoin's practical use for daily transactions. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with Bitcoin, only to realize it could have paid for breakfast by the time you finish your coffee. There's an ongoing debate about whether Bitcoin can serve as a stable store of value in a global currency given this volatility. This debate has led to the development of stablecoins, which aim to offer the advantages of cryptocurrencies without the price swings. Security and hacks. Security is also a key concern. Bitcoin relies on digital wallets and private keys, making it susceptible to hacks and theft if not adequately protected. High-profile incidents of exchanges and wallets being compromised have raised concerns about protecting assets. Regulatory uncertainty. The regulatory environment surrounding Bitcoin remains uncertain. Governments worldwide are grappling with how to classify and regulate cryptocurrencies. This lack of regulatory clarity can create compliance challenges for users and businesses in the Bitcoin space. Scalability. Scalability is an ongoing concern. As Bitcoin's popularity has grown, so have issues related to transaction speed and fees. The network's ability to efficiently handle a high volume of transactions is a pressing matter. Environmental impact. The environmental impact of Bitcoin mining is another area of concern. The energy-intensive mining process has raised debates about its carbon footprint, particularly as the network expands. Lack of consumer protections. Bitcoin transactions are irreversible, which means there's limited recourse for users in case of errors or fraud. This lack of consumer protections can be a source of unease, particularly for newcomers. While Bitcoin offers numerous advantages, it's essential to navigate these challenges and concerns thoughtfully. Understanding these issues empowers users to make informed decisions in the ever-evolving world of Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin seen as an investment? Though Bitcoin was initially conceived and designed as a currency, a shift in perspective has occurred, and it is increasingly regarded as an investment rather than an everyday medium of exchange. This transformation in perspective is driven by several practical factors. Scarce supply. Bitcoin's value as an investment starts with its limited supply. Unlike traditional currencies, Bitcoin has a maximum supply of 21 million coins, which gives it a unique appeal as a store of value. Digital gold. Bitcoin is often compared to digital gold due to its shared characteristics with the precious metal. This comparison underlines its potential to hold and grow in value over time, similar to gold. Inflation hedge. Many see Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, especially during uncertain economic times. It's considered a way to protect wealth from devaluation, reinforcing its investment value. Technological promise. Beyond Bitcoin itself, the underlying blockchain technology holds significant promise for various industries. Those who invest in Bitcoin often do so with an eye on the potential of blockchain to reshape the future. Limited acceptance. While Bitcoin is gaining acceptance, it's not yet universally recognized as a form of payment. This limited acceptance means people are less likely to use it for everyday purchases and more likely to hold it as an investment. Tax implications. Using Bitcoin for transactions can have tax implications depending on your location. Some choose to hold it as an investment to manage their taxes more effectively. Price volatility. Bitcoin's price can change rapidly, which makes it less practical for everyday transactions. Many people prefer to use more stable forms of currency for their daily needs. Speculation. Speculation is a major driver of Bitcoin investment. Investors are motivated by the potential for profits over time rather than the immediate utility of the currency. Holding for the long term. Some see Bitcoin as a long-term bet on its disruptive potential. They believe in its future and prefer to hold it until they need to convert it to traditional currency. Thanks for tuning in to learn about Bitcoin with us. If you found this video useful, consider giving it a thumbs up to show your support. Got questions or ideas for future videos? Drop them in the comments below. See you in the next one.